Welcome, everybody. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Schaefer. Here. DiDio. Absent. Mottola. Here. Clay. Here. Wendis. Absent. Wakefield. Here. Bush. Here. Campbell. Here. Tedford. Here. Peterson. Here. Latender. Here. Zahner. Here. Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to make a motion to add an item, and that's the cancellation of the town meeting, just an affirmation. Steve, can you make that motion?
The town council hereby schedules a public hearing and special town meeting.
No, just make the motion. Make a motion to add this motion.
Really?
We're just making a motion to add a motion.
Okay. The town council hereby affirms the cancellation of the public hearing and special town meeting scheduled for September 17th, 2019.
Second.
Hold on one second. We have to vote to add that first, correct? We don't. We can just do it that way. Thank you. All right. Seconded by Laura. Questions on that? Okay. Basically, we were reached by a few town council people. We realized there was a mistake in the posting of the public hearing, and no way around it. We were forced to cancel. All right. All those in favor? Unanimous. All right. Is there anybody here for Citizens Forum? No? Okay. Steve, consent?
Your Honor, move the consent agenda.
Seconded by Laura. Are we skipped presentations. We'll just finish this one. Are we pulling any of those? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, we'll go down to presentations. Why don't we start with the Daughters of the American Revolution? We have somebody here? Ah, there she is.
Wow.
So this is a proclamation marking the Constitution Week, which is September 17th to the 23rd, 2019 in Vernon. And Dr. Patricia Buxton from the Daughters of the American Revolution will be present to receive the proclamation. And she's right here. Mayor Proclamation. Whereas the Daughters of the American Revolution petitioned Congress in 1955 to set aside a week every September dedicated to the observance of Constitution Week. And whereas on August 2nd, 1956, Dwight D. Eisenhower signed Public Law number 915 honoring their petition. And whereas the celebration emphasizes the DAR's three important messages, it is all citizens' responsibilities to protect, defend, and preserve the Constitution of the United States, teach us to be mindful of the foundation of the American way of life, and finally, encourages the study of historical events. And whereas the Vernon Town Council encourages our citizens to take time in September to reflect upon the freedoms we enjoy each day. Now therefore, I, Daniel A. Champagne, Mayor, together with the Vernon Town Council, on behalf of the entire town of Vernon, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th, 2019, Constitution Week, in the town of Vernon, and do hereby present this Mayor Proclamation to the Daughters of the American Revolution. Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Expensive picture.
One more time.
Okay. A couple things happened recently. On September 14th, 2019, I attended the 100th anniversary of the Rockville American Legion, Post 14. Congratulations to the Post on their milestone and anniversary. I believe Bill, Laura, who else was there? Jim and Mike, who's not here, he's sick tonight, were also present. Reminder, not tomorrow, isn't this Thursday? On Thursday morning is the groundbreaking ceremony for the wastewater treatment facility upgrade. The ceremony begins at 10 a.m. The annual Halloween event for Parks and Recreation, this year the department is changing things up and will be holding the event on Halloween night, October 31st, 2019, at the Rockville Public Library and at Town Hall. Details are still being worked out, more to come in October. This week, KERMA presented a check to the town of Vernon for our 2019 members' equity distribution. 2019 in the amount of $30,653. That was nice. Steve, did you get the proceeds from the carnival yet? How much was raised?
How much the profit was or what the total was?
Do you want to announce that? All right, so the proceeds from the Vernon Carnival, Steve Wakefield and Polly Schaefer, was $101,000, which was a...
That was the gross.
The gross.
The gross.
Okay.
The net
Still-
was, the net was 3,000. The net was 3,000.
So
I
a lot
will
of
be
good,
going on a nice
lot of good
cruise.
weather went along with that. To go along with our community engagement program, a presentation about the Town of Vernon's new website is on the agenda for this evening. Crumbling Foundations, the testing program is moving forward for those who have applied. An information meeting is planned for October 2nd, 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers to update participants and those who are considering applying. The governor, we just received the next $20 million for the captive, so we'll be funding more of the foundations. Volunteers, over the last few months, we've been distributing volunteer resume forms for the library, senior center, at the library, senior center, here in the chambers, and at Parks and Recreation to generate new volunteers for our boards and commissions. The effort has been effective, and 4 new volunteers are before you this evening for appointment. Bernice Dixon's retirement. Bernice began her career with the town of Vernon June of 1997 as an assistant registrar of vital statistics. She was appointed to the town clerk on November 18, 2003, and in March 2018, she transitioned to a part-time position as deputy town clerk. She is retiring on October 8, 2019, with a total of 22.3 years of service. Bev State's retirement. Bev is a Rockville High School graduate, began her career with the town of Vernon through the Vernon Public Schools. She was hired November 1997 as a payroll clerk. She transferred to her present role as assistant treasurer in August of 2004 and is retiring November 13, 2019 with a total of 22 years of service. The Veterans Memorial renovation. We're in the process of renovating the Veterans Monuments in Central Park. We will add the Afghan and Iraq wars and secure the stone walls and steps which are in need of repair. Stay tuned for more information in October on that. Is Jennifer here? Cole? She's the director of the Community Arts Center East, and she wants to give us a small presentation on relative to the energy recommendations for the Arts Center building. Yeah. Is the green light on?
Now can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay. ACE is really appreciative of the funding that you agreed to help us with earlier in the year, so I just wanted to circle back and talk about what we've been doing with the time that we've had since then. 2 parts. We've been working with the Department of Public Works. I've given them several tours of the building. I've given them recommendations of where I feel regular light switches can be switched out with light sensors. So they are currently upgrading our light switches and sensors. They are putting our cupola light on a timer, so that has better control. They are also upgrading and fixing a lot of lights in the building that have been out, which have made us run other lights to make up for the deficiencies. I had a few phone calls with Eversource, and they put me in touch with Earthlight Solar and Energy Solutions. They came out to Art Center East and they assessed the building, and Public Works is currently reviewing the report. It looks very positive, and I'm hoping we can make the changes that will help us with our energy savings going forward. So we're working on those two projects at the request of the council.
Excellent. Thank you. Go ahead.
Through the mayor, thank you, Jennifer. You've been a great partner since the budget season and since we've been working together. And by the numbers, I just wanted to share with the council through some of the efforts to help quantify or qualify some of these efforts. If we were to look at what's been done, what's planned to be done, including the energy assessment work, we could be looking at a savings of $200 to $250 a month in energy savings costs alone. So that's something that we'll be discussing further, and we've been meeting between administration, Public Works, and the Arts Center on a fairly regular basis, holding meetings at the Arts Center and working close together on this. So I just wanted to add that to your comments, and thank you, Jennifer, for all the work you're doing as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions? No? All right. Well, thank you for the saving. Very much. Okay. And Allison? And Cassie. Oh, by the way, Cassie gets married on Saturday, so tonight's her last night for a couple weeks. So you want to congratulate her.
Good evening, everyone. Through the mayor. So we're here to give a preview of our new website. As you may recall, we received that $50,000 grant through the Hartford Foundation. As a result of that, we hired the consultants who did all the focus groups, and with the input of the steering committee, which was made up of 15 members from our community, as well as these 6 different focus groups, which range from 8 to 10 people each from all different populations. They gave us a list of recommendations to help increase and improve our communication with our residents. And one of the common themes was our website, that it was difficult to navigate, aesthetically could use some improvements, and also a community calendar. As the mayor has mentioned several times, a place where members of the community can go to a one-stop shop and see every event that's happening here in town, whether it be a town-sponsored event or a community-sponsored event. So we are happy to be now at a point where we have a version of the website which Cassie is going to share with you all tonight. And then once we hire the communications specialist, we will hopefully make further enhancements to the website to help us collect all of the data to populate the community calendar. So with that.
So if you guys are having...
Turn on your monitors.
Or if you can see them.
Hold on. Give us 1 second. We're going to make sure everybody knows how to turn on their monitors.
Oh, no, we weren't able to do it that way with a live.
Oh, you weren't?
With a
Okay.
live
If you guys want to move so you can see the televisions, you're more than welcome. That's going to be your best bet if you can move in front of the TVs.
Boy, it's freezing over here. It is cold in here.
All right, so one of the advancements that we made to this new website is the town news section, which is similar to our rotating screen that we have on our current website, but it kind of summarizes it. So if somebody is interested in, for instance, the Vernon Rocks, they're able to click here, and then the information will follow. We also have the employee self-service login, so all employees are able to go there to go to their ESS, which is where they get their W-2, their payroll information, and also eventually we'll have a business login for our business owners and vendors that can send invoices and things like that. And that's that. And then these situations here are quick links. So we ran, IT ran a report to see what was most searched on our current website, and these were the 4 things that came up as most searched. So for example, if you click payments here, you're able to get right to the tax to pay your property or vehicle taxes. And eventually, we will also have the ability to put on the parking tickets or permit fees on this, so it's going to be like a one-stop shop for all payments for our residents and visitors. And then last, what are we doing? Hold on 1 second. And also, our website is also cell phone user friendly. So here's our town news and how it shows up, our quick links on top, our community calendar, and this is all from an iPhone.
Eventually, with the community calendar, what I envision is we'll have 2, it'll be color-coded with the town events being one color and the other events being another color. Eventually, it would be great if we could add in just about anything that's happening in town. So if you want to know what's happening in town, you click in there and it'll tell you. It'd be great if we could add soccer and baseball and the rest of those in there as well, and I don't see why we can't. So Friday night comes along, you have nothing to do, click in, you can see what's going on in town. And a lot of that's going to work with the Hartford Foundation grant, because that person will actually be the one running this. And at some point, we'll work out how the different organizations will be able to get that information to that individual that we'll be hiring. But that's the vision that I've had, and I think it's pretty good. We won't discriminate. You want to put your information up there, you're more than welcome. Any questions? Laura?
Yes, is the calendar like Google-based so you could merge into a Google Calendar or anything?
Probably not. It's more of an informational thing. At this point, you can probably do anything. Anybody else? Yes. Got to come up to a mic, though. Thought it was somebody in the audience.
No, I just wondered if it changed anything on the GIS, when you get into the GIS button.
No.
No, so the GIS button remains the same. There are no changes in through that.
Correct.
Yep.
So this, okay, I got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, anybody else? No? Okay, so that's just a brief kind of overview. We got a lot of things coming, and we still have money coming from the Hartford to update a little more. So, and we will be looking for ideas. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you later. Enjoy your wedding.
Did you approve of the spouse?
Never met him yet. All right, let's move on to new business number 1.
The Town Council hereby amends the document entitled Town of Vernon, Americans with Disabilities Act, Municipal Grievance Procedure, to reflect the town's appointment of the new building official, Stephen Pratson, as ADA Coordinator.
Seconded by Laura. Any questions? All those in favor? Unanimous. New business number 2.
The Town Council hereby amends the document entitled Town of Vernon, Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA Notice, to reflect the town's appointment of the new building official, Stephen Pratson, as ADA Compliance Coordinator.
Seconded by Julie. Any questions? All those in favor? Unanimous? New business number 3.
Be it resolved that the Town Council authorizes Mayor Daniel A. Champagne to execute all necessary paperwork to make application for and receive fiscal year 2019 Emergency Management Performance Grant funding offered by the State of Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection in the amount of $14,574.
Seconded by Polly. Any questions? This is our annual grant. Yeah.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to the Emergency Services Director. Any plans for the money specifically?
Through the mayor, this grant offsets the budget appropriation made by the town. So whatever's in the budget, this pays for a portion of it, and we get that reimbursed directly back to the town general fund.
Nothing shareable with other communities?
That's a different, through the mayor, that's a different grant where but it's good that you brought it up. It's always good to highlight the fact that we have those mutual aid agreements in place, and that's a different grant where we put the money through the Capital Region Council of Governments to have those mutual aid assets. This grant, however, and there's a bunch of acronyms, so they all sound the same, but this one is specifically to offset the appropriation that the council makes in the budget process by whatever's available in the grant from the state.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Picaro. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Anybody else? No? All those in favor? Unanimous. Steve, number 4.
Mayor, with this, maybe I have to add a word here, but be it resolved that the Town Council authorizes the Board of Education request to transfer the remaining funds from the 2018-2019, I believe the word budget should be there, in the amount of $24,743.42 from the Board of Education budget to the capital and non-recurring education account.
Seconded by Polly. And can we just second that with the understanding that we're going to add the word budget? Okay. And that's going to be at the end of, it says funds from the 2018-2019 budget. Did we get that? Okay. All right, second. Any questions on this? All those in favor? Unanimous? Steve, number 5.
The Town Council, consistent with the Town of Vernon Personnel Rules and Regulations, Section 4.1B, entitled Job Descriptions, hereby adopts the job description of Senior Revenue Clerk.
Seconded by Laura. Questions? No? Polly.
Is this a new position or just a change in title?
I'm going to hand that one to Dawn.
Through the mayor, it is only changing the supervision exercise. It's a current position. The town council in 2015 brought back the assistant collector of revenue, and there's a redundancy in that they both are in charge of the department in absence of the collector of revenue. So this is removing that and giving it only to the assistant collector of revenue. And the supervision exercise has changed that this position's in charge of the department in absence of both the collector of revenue and assistant collector of revenue, and is only in charge of temporary staff in the summer.
Okay. Does this,
Go ahead.
does this include a raise along with it in salary? Or will it stay at the same because they're getting more responsibility?
Through the mayor, this position is actually getting a reduction in responsibility, but there's no change in pay.
Did you have a question, Brian?
So just to follow up on Polly, this just delineates the structure of the department. Collector of revenue, assistant collector of revenue, well,
Yes.
Terry's job, whoever it is, and collector of revenue, and then this person, in the absence of those two, is supervisor, and also they supervise summer help. So it's pretty just, all we're doing here is straightening out the order of control.
Through the mayor, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else? All those in favor? Unanimous.
Be it resolved that the Town Council authorizes Mayor Daniel A. Champagne to execute the necessary paperwork to make applications for and receive Youth Services Bureau enhancement funds from the State Department of Children and Families in the amount of $10,734.
Seconded by Jim. Questions? Is this the annual one, too? It is, okay. Brian?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you, Ms. Hill, for coming. And what are the funds going to be used for?
Through the mayor, these are funds we receive every year, and they're supposed to be used to enhance existing programs. So we use them to fund staffing for the after-school program, specifically our youth workers.
Thank you. Is that enough money? Get you some more?
Do you want to give us
Just
some?
joking. No, just joking. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else? All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
The Town Council hereby approves the disposal of fixed assets for the Vernon Public Schools and Rockville Public Library as disclosed in the fixed asset information forms.
Seconded by Julie. Questions? All those in favor? Unanimous. Number 8. Marty? This is just a discussion on the establishment of a dog park in the town of Vernon. Kind of a brief overview. This is something that's been being worked on for about a year. Okay. Turn your mic on.
Oh, there you go. We're better. I could always hear me. Good evening, and through the mayor, I've been asked to give you an update on the progress of the committee that was looking into the creation of a dog park in Vernon. There was a group of residents who expressed an interest in creating one. They came to the town, I met with them, and we had several meetings. We explored several different properties, came to the conclusion that there is one piece of property that the town currently owns that is suitable and is probably a very good use. It's the Saxony Mill at the intersection of West and Regan Street. We developed a plan. It's going to be minimally invasive. It's going to have a fence, some wood fiber surfacing, and a water service so that you can get a drink of water for yourself and or a drink of water for the dogs. It's not a huge cost, and there's not a lot of structural change. The parking lot would be millings, another opportunity to use some of the millings from road projects, and it doesn't cost anything. We've done a couple of parking lots with that material. It's, again, minimally invasive, very effective, and free. So we kind of like it. Also was approached by an Eagle Scout candidate who expressed an interest in enhancing our dog park plan. He had some ideas about adding features, toys, activities that would make the dog park much more attractive to dogs and dog owners, and we're working with him to include that in the plan.
Thank you, Marty. Through the mayor, just wanted to add the committee members. It's Deputy Mayor Steve Wakefield, Town Council Member Julie Clay, Town Council Member Brian Matola, Eagle Scout candidate Mark Boyer Jr., and resident Mark Boyer Sr. And Marty's been our staff liaison through this project. Thank you.
Any questions? Go ahead. Ian?
So is there any plan to remove any vegetation further back in the park, or just use what's now devoid of trees, that area? Through the mayor, I'm sorry.
Through the mayor, the current plan is to just use the existing cleared area. We're not looking to cut anything back because we don't need any more space than is already cleared and open.
Mm-hmm. Good. And you're probably all aware that there's the second largest tree in Connecticut is on that site, the cottonwood, or buttonwood. I can't remember the name, but I just want to make sure that we didn't get closer to that. Yeah, don't cut it down.
Do it.
And secondly, how do you plan to go about keeping it clean? You know, removing the dog feces, that sort of thing?
We would have to put some kind of a trash receptacle there, and if we could get volunteers. A lot of dog parks have a very well supported friends program. People who have dogs, love dogs, will often go and do work details on an annual basis. They'll do fundraisers. If we could put that together here, it'd be wonderful. If not, the park maintenance department will add yet one more task to our daily, weekly routine to empty that barrel as we need to.
Okay. The river is right there. We'd just be concerned there's no runoff. It's kind of uphill, like you can't get to it.
We'll be far enough away.
Be aware of it, yeah.
It's one of the things we were taking into account as well.
Thank you.
And we
Thank you.
hope the dog owners clean up after themselves so there wouldn't be any runoff.
Any other questions? Steve?
Just a comment.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of dog parks, through you, Your Honor. There's a lot of dog parks in Connecticut. Marty's actually built one before. He's seen a lot. The idea here is we would like citizens to become involved as a support group, much like baseball, lacrosse, whatever, because a dog park is not free. And the peoples that are going to use the dog park who would create this committee would be in charge of anything from fundraisers to new ideas for the park and how do we keep it going and how do we make it state of the art for the people who want to use it. So if this can be a little bit of a heads up for people out there that looked at this the last time but we didn't have anywhere to go and now a year down the road we do, I would suggest that they get a hold of Mr. Sittler and let him know that they're interested in being on a committee that would support and become a functioning group ad infinitum. Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay. New motion, number 9.
The Town Council hereby approves the disposal of a fixed asset for the Department of Public Works as disclosed on the fixed asset information form.
Seconded by Polly. Any questions? All those in favor? Unanimous. All right, so we're going to
Number 10.
add an agenda item. So we got to vote to add an agenda item.
Your Honor, move to add an agenda item.
Seconded by Laura. Okay, we're voting to add the additional agenda item that's on the desk. All those in favor of adding the agenda item? Unanimous. All right, go ahead.
The motion. The Town Council hereby schedules a public hearing and special town meeting for October 1, 2019 at 7:35 p.m. on the 3rd floor Town Council Chambers in the Town Hall Memorial Building, 14 Park Place, Vernon, Connecticut, to hear comment and take the necessary action relative to a resolution regarding an additional appropriation for general government and land acquisition and related land improvements in the amount of $1,193,000.
Seconded by Laura. Questions? Ralph?
Yeah, simple question. How is this going to be advertised? Is it going to be more than just this small print in the journal? Will it be advertised like we do the rest of our, say, our referendums and so forth, so that the exposure gets out to the people so they realize what's going on?
So this one got advertised actually through the different organizations. This went out on our, did this go on our webpage? Journal Enquirer. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's basically the legal standards and then anything else we do. So it should be up on our webpage. I don't know if it made it or not.
You sent it to the website.
We did, okay. All right.
No, that's all fine and dandy. I appreciate that. However, my concern is if you walk up and down the street and ask anybody on the street about this here, basically they don't know about it. If they didn't read about it in a journal, in a legal ad or something, and it seems to me we should publicize it more so that people know about it. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? All right, all those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Minutes.
Minutes.
Town council waives the reading of the minutes of the regular town council meeting on August 20th, 2019, and that minutes of said meeting be approved.
Seconded by Polly. Any corrections or deletions? No? All those in favor? Unanimous. Steve?
Thank you for turning up the heat, by the way. Move to adjourn.
Seconded by Polly. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everyone.